have a minimum of 5 Indians who are going to be participating at this US Open. And Ankita Raina, who is a India number one for a really long time now. Sumit Nagal, who is a former top 200 player, I think. Of course, he has the distinction of having played with the best player on the planet. The man who has been defying age for quite some time now, Rohan Bopanna.
Don't come for the match. Rather come for looking at how the way she prepares.
So US Open is around the corner, and I can't help but be really glad that we have a minimum of 5 Indians who are going to be participating at this US Open. And it's not just about the US Open, but overall, some of the Indian players have been doing, have been creating a lot of waves around the tennis tour. We of course have Ankita Raina, who is a India number one for a really long time now. She is playing the qualifiers at the US Open. Then we have Karman Kaur Pandit, who is also playing the qualifiers at the US Open. Then we have Sumit Nagal, who is a former top 200 player, I think. He's also playing the qualifiers. Of course, he has the distinction of having played with the best player on the planet. Yeah. Then we have Yuki Bamri, who is a former junior world number one. And of course, last but not least, we have the man who has been defying age for quite some time now, Rohan Bopanna. So I think Indians have been overall, doing pretty fine, not just from a US Open context, but overall, if you look at the past couple of months, a lot of waves are being created by Indians. So let's begin one by one. Let us first talk about Ankita Raina.
Yeah. So I have had the privilege to watch her matches multiple times as it's in my home city, right? Mostly. And it was amazing fun. So more than fun, I would say it's a great learning experience. So most recent experience, if I have to maybe tell you, I also took with me a few kids, right, who I occasionally coach on request. And the biggest differentiator, I think, with Ankita is the routine and the focus that she has. So it's not just the match she plays. That is what I really told the kids who were with me, that don't come for the match. Rather come for looking at how the way she prepares. So be it the warm up, be it a simple practice session in the morning, and then building up to the match with great level of focus. So I personally find it really amazing that she has been India number one for such long. And I don't think, quickly realize it, that consistently performing at that level is so difficult. And just watching her build up to the match is a learning experience. And I think the longevity has to be credited to the way she carries herself and conducts herself in terms of her routine, her focus, her mental strength, and so on.
Okay, all right. Let me just cut you here. You talked so much about how she prepares, and how you had the privilege of witnessing it firsthand. How she prepares herself and everything. But other than that, also Ankita has a long list of achievements, doesn't it? Like I don't think she's actually getting her due credit. What do you think?
Thus, she recently, I think, defeated the top 20 in the world, who was also a Wimbledon champion in doubles, of course, recently. But I'm sure that there are events or moments where there are a lot of great matches. Maybe going forward, let's hope that she continues that run. And it's a joy for us as Indians to watch somebody like her consistently perform at top level.
All right. So the second player on my list is Karman Kaur Thandi, who I'm sure you have been following a lot of her matches recently. So
personally,
wait, I think you have a lot of good opinion about the way she.
No, so I haven't seen her play, in person so often as I have seen the number of other players. But I think 2-3 times I've witnessed her, and you rarely come across somebody who has really clean technique. So I was very, very impressed to see the great simplicity in which she serves and her backhands. So that is what probably I would advise anybody who watches her match. It's a great opportunity to learn. I mean, my personal favorite in terms of textbook styles is, as you know, is Mr. Tim Henman. And from that perspective, I find it very, very amazing to watch players who have really clean technique, and it's a great joy to watch.
Right. You said that Tim and you almost compared Tim Henman to her. So I'm pretty sure she'll take this as a compliment. But considering the kind of awareness people have, I don't think a lot of them are going to like her being compared to Tim Henman. Yeah. So everybody prefers multiple Grand Slam winners and something like that. So unfortunately, Tim Henman doesn't fit the bill. But I'm sure that she will be glad if she listens. All right. All right. So I think that's it. That's it from the women's tennis from India. Let's move on to the men's. Uh, we have Sumit Nagal once again playing the qualifiers at the US Open. I'm pretty sure a lot of Indian tennis fans know that Sumit Nagal has played the main draw. And I think it was US Open itself. Played the main draw at multiple Grand Slams. If I'm not mistaken, he has played the main draw twice. And I believe it was US Open where he has gave his best performance. No, so what do you think about Sumit Nagal, the way he's performing and going into the US Open?
When we talk about Sumit Nagal, again, I've seen him play personally in life. But when you talk about him, I only remember that one point. I mean, immediately remember that one point which comes to my mind against the god Roger Federer, and it was featured in the point of the day as well. So a thrilling match, of course, the US Open final, and a thrilling point which I keep watching over and over again. Such a fantastic one that was. But due credit also has to be given to a lot of recent achievements. He is back from injury and he has won a couple of ITF challenges. I also saw the longer version of the highlights of the recent one, where again, since we're talking about Roger Federer, what I noticed was some amazing inside out forehands. So that was lovely to watch, and it should be fun with the OTT platforms. It's great that we're able to see any match we want.
Right. All right. So that's about it for Sumit Nagal. Now we also have Mr. Yuki Bamri, who is, as I would say, probably right now the biggest star probably that India could look at, because he's a former junior world number one. He has won the Junior Australian Open. He has cracked the top 100, although it's been quite some time now, but he was in the top 100 men's singles. So to everybody out there, to any, especially Indians who think that, winning a Grand Slam is an achievement or something like that, not a lot of people know, right, that the top 100 ATP rankings is a big deal. I mean, it's almost an impossible task in itself to crack.
Yeah, it's huge. Crazy.
It's huge. So we have Yuki Bamri, who recently has turned into a double specialist. It's been almost a year now that he has been focusing on doubles now. So and he has had a pretty decent run in the previous two Grand Slams. So what do you think about Yuki Bamri?
Yeah. No, he's quickly moved up on the doubles ranking, isn't it? And I believe everybody really is keen to watch his matches, especially since we don't really get to see doubles that much. But with Indians on the list, I think it's a privilege. And we also watched the recent French Open. He even played the Wimbledon, right? And consistently, he has been winning with Saket. I think he's partnering some Brazilian at the US Open. But doubles is a joy to watch, especially as an Indian. It's a skill, or it's an art. Hence, probably we love it from the days of Leander, Mahesh, and Rohan.
Okay, so we of course look forward to watching Yuki Bamri. I believe Yuki Bamri recently had a really great tournament where he won his first ATP title as well, along with the aforesaid Brazilian partner. And he is world number 58 now, I believe, in the doubles ranking, which is another achievement.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Brazilian partner. I'm not very sure. And 58 is probably his highest. I think he's just moved a little bit around 60 or 64, something like that. But that's not important. I think getting to play and achieving that feat is absolutely crazy.
Okay, all right. And now last on the list, we have Rohan Bopanna. I don't think he needs any introduction, at least from an Indian tennis point of, from the context of Indian tennis. Of course, he's famous worldwide. He is a Grand Slam champion. he is sort of the person who has taken the baton over from Leander Paes and Mahesh Bhupathi after both of them, sort of went into retirement mode post their illustrious doubles career. But Rohan Bopanna is, of course, a name I'm pretty sure every kid in India who knows tennis or who has some small amount of love for tennis at least has heard of Rohan Bopanna. And
Yeah.
the man has
And
been defying age, pretty much everything, right?
yeah, he won the. I mean, he is the oldest player to win an ATP 1008. So that is there. And I feel in terms of achievements, he has already been there, done that. But I see a lot of coverage around how he helps people or younger generations, be it in terms of sponsorship, be it in terms of personal attention or personal guidance or advice. I think, is tying up with a lot of associations to help kids. So that's such an amazing initiative. He's actually trying to pass on and genuinely trying to get another Rohan Bopanna on the ATP tour from India.
Right. Let's hope that we just talked about 4 Indians already making it, to the US Open or being a part of US Open in some capacity, and 2 of them are boys. I think we also may see Saket Mainini with a different partner or something.
Yeah.
So that is another possibility. So let's just hope that somebody. Even after Rohan Bopanna decides to stop playing tennis after a while, we'll have some Indian to look up to and enjoy tennis from an Indian perspective.